Retro.
Hi, this is Fred Tatasciore, and you're listening to Dennis and Jay on Podcast Stardust. The Force is strong with both of them.
Happy holidays, Star Wars fans. I'm Jay Krebs.
And I'm Dennis Keithley.
And this is another fully armed and operational edition of Podcast Stardust, the galaxy source for Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. But before we get started, Dennis, can you remind everyone where our listeners can find us on social media?
We are convenient and succinctly located on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust.
All right. So that is our gift to you. It's just easy to find us. But today on Podcast Stardust, episode 822, we are bringing you our special monthly feature called World Between Worlds, a mystical dimension that connects Star Wars fashion and lifestyle products to your space and time. The goal is to bring you a wide variety of ideas for products to surround you, outfit you, and bind your style sense together, kind of like the Force. So this month, we are so close to go time for holiday gift giving. And with that in mind, this episode of World Between Worlds will focus mostly on those last-minute ideas for the Star Wars fan in your life, or maybe gifting to yourself. And so here we go. Stardust, aka the Death Star, is atop the tree. So let's get gifting. But before we jump in, Dennis and I do a recap of any new items that either of us has acquired since we last spoke, or any other product updates that we want to discuss. So before we get into the gift-giving frenzy, Dennis, do you have anything? Take the floor first.
I don't have anything new, but we did put up our Christmas tree the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which is kind of our tradition. We usually do it that Friday or Saturday. And that means I got to get out all of my Star Wars Christmas decorations. So, like a lot of Star Wars fans, I have a lot of different Star Wars ornaments. I've got Anakin and Ahsoka from the Clone Wars. I've got the Mandalorian. I've got Boba Fett from the look that he has in the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Darth Vader, some stormtroopers and stuff like that. Most of those are those traditional Hallmark ornaments. I don't buy a lot of those, but most of my Star Wars ones are. I do have a ornament that is the Mandalorian themed that I got at Disney Springs in their Christmas shop. But it kind of looks like a Mickey ears mashed with a Mandalorian, so that's cool. Put up a number of Star Wars themed nutcrackers. I've got 4 of those. Darth Vader, R2D2, Stormtrooper. I can't think of the last one, but they all got a little some Christmas decorations on them. Those are fun. And then we got a big, probably about 2 foot tall Stormtrooper that's kind of a stuffed character that's holding a candy cane, and so a lot of stuff like that around the house right now. So it's just kind of a fun mashup of Star Wars and Christmas decorations going on around here.
I love that. Absolutely. Yeah, we're not getting our tree up until probably this coming weekend, quite honestly. And it's just been kind of a crazy time for us.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, we have had a lot going on here lately, but I love hearing all your stuff that you have. But ironically, that's one of the things that I actually got that was new is the new shut down the garbage mashers ornament from Hallmark. And so this is one of the new keepsake ornaments it's really big, by the way, and very, very heavy. But it is the Death Star garbage masher. And so you got Han and Leia and Luke and Chewbacca trying to keep themselves from getting crushed. And Han's got that one piece of whatever piece of garbage in his hand that he's, trying to keep the doors open with. But it's the one that's, got the lights and the sounds and the different little snippets of the talking in it. And I actually haven't had a chance to get it set up yet, but I'm so excited for it. But it does require that keepsake power cord from Hallmark as well to be able to make it work. And it was one of those things that I wasn't going to get it for myself. And I thought, you know what, this is going to be my Christmas present to myself. And so because my husband and I typically don't get each other presents because we're like, yeah, you want that? Go get it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself. But here's how big it is. It's 5.7 inches by 4.3 inches by 4.1 inches. That's big for for an ornament.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I typically end up doing with a lot of these is just setting them on like windowsills or just basically around shelves around the house and stuff like that, just so that way they're not weighing down the tree so much. And because they really do take up quite a bit of weight to them, but it's beautiful. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's something that's absolutely gorgeous. And it was artist crafted by Orville Wilson, and he is the one that has done quite a few of the other ornaments for Star Wars in the past. So that's really cool. So I did get that, and that was from my local Hallmark. And I did have some Hallmark points. So that was nice that I was able to use with that. And this one was on sale there in my local Hallmark for $69.99. And then I ended up gifting the Mandalorian Grogu in the Hovering Pram ornament, which is also new this year, to a teacher friend of mine. And so this one also requires the keepsake power cord to go with it as well. And this one is also pretty big. I mean, it's about 3 inches all the way around, length, width, diameter kind of thing. But again, it's got little Grogu, or Din Grogu, as we love to call him. And this one is on sale for $44.99. But the power cords themselves that you need to have to go with them, those are an additional $15. So I'm telling you what, these Hallmark ornaments, they definitely become an investment, and nothing wrong with that, because I know that there's so many people that are, literally obsessed with the Hallmark ornaments. But just like any other sector of collecting, it's something that if it makes you happy, then go out and get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you completist when it comes to the Star Wars Hallmark ornaments, or you just pick and choose?
I kind of pick and choose because there was definitely more that I could have gotten while I was there. I mean, there was a Bo-Katan. There was a few other new ones as well that I was like, "Oh, I could get this. I could get this. I could get this." One thing I am waiting for though is Rebels, and I don't know if we'll ever really get to see many Rebels characters, but I would love to see a Hera being
Oh
released.
yeah.
I would totally be all over that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, but there was some other cool ones too. There's a Darth Maul Sith Probe droid ornament for the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace, which is it's in the keepsake realm, but it's not as, oh gosh, what's the word that I want to say? It's not made like some of the other ones are. But I definitely do have a few of the other ones. I have the Book of Boba Fett one from a couple years ago, and I love them. But do you pretty much get them all?
No, no, no. We've we got the Anakin and Ahsoka when the kids were little because Clone Wars were so big in the house,
Mhm.
especially with them. And then we've added some here or there. I've had others that I had to actually end up getting rid of because the plastic or whatever the material was like yellowed and just looked terrible
Oh, okay.
over there. I mean, yeah, I've had a number of different Star Wars ornaments that I've got at Target as well, but our tree is stuffed to the gills with ornaments. There's really
Yeah.
not much more space to put things on. And so, I really, really have to like something if I want to get it at this point. And that's the problem. I like all of them, but you know,
Yeah.
it's the other thing is just like as much as I like having them, I don't want the tree dominated by them. I
Mhm.
just want, anyways. Like I said, I'm choosy on those things, and I have to. But I just exercise restraint every time I go to the store and I see those. I do see there is actually a. I'm scrolling through the Hallmark site. There is a Star Wars Rebels 10th anniversary ghost ornament
Oh, really?
available. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't even
30.
know that existed.
Yes, 37.99. So far, that's the only thing for Rebels that I've seen. I mean, unless you count, Bo-Katan or Ahsoka, the way she showed up
Mhm.
in Rebels or something like that. But
Or
yeah,
Thrawn, but this is the
yeah,
Ahsoka, version of Thrawn.
yeah. There's a Sabine Wren from Ahsoka that's available as well. So you
Mhm.
have at least some Rebels adjacent stuff in addition to the
Mhm.
Ghost. So yeah,
So, but there's tons of other stuff on the Hallmark site too. I mean, one of the things that I thought was very fun is the stocking hanger sets that they have, and these are kind of like the keepsake ornaments in a way that they have that same kind of plastic look to them. But these have like the Darth Vader TIE Fighter ornament and the stocking hanger set that kind of goes with it. And so you can kind of pair those up, which I think is really cool. But there's also tons of other things. I mean, you get stockings, you can even get different kinds of small, I don't want to call them appliances, but there's a pizza cutter with sound kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And then I know we've talked about some of these other things before, such as the mugs that have the sound and the lights, and then the desk lamps, and there's even a set of Mandalorian glasses, like collector glasses, pint glasses that they have as well. So Hallmark really does have quite a few things. And I mean, if you're looking for, I wouldn't necessarily call it a one-stop shop because there's some other sites that are definitely worth looking into, but Hallmark really does have a lot, quite honestly.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a ton to choose from. That's for certain.
Yeah, for sure. And you can also get your wrapping paper and bags if you want to order them online, or you can get them in store as well. So if you're looking for Star Wars, specific Star Wars paper, and Hallmark always has really good heavy paper too, which I appreciate because it doesn't just tear through the corners, which I hate. Yeah.
Yeah,
On those,
yeah.
I know hate's a very strong word, but I dislike it strongly. That's for sure. So yeah, so check that out at hallmark.com or once again at your local Hallmark store. So the other thing I was able to obtain this month, there's a couple things actually, is we have a little secret Santa exchange at school where I teach. And so we fill out this little form, with the different kinds of things that we like. And of course, I am the Star Wars fan on deck, at school, but not the only one, but I'm definitely known for that. And so one of the things I put down too was that I just love games. I love games of any kind. So what did I get as a Secret Santa gift? I got the Something Wild game that is actually from Funko Pop. And I've never heard of this one before, and I'll admit I haven't played it yet, but I looked up the directions online on how to play this, and it's supposedly like a really fast-paced kind of matching game. And this one has Grogu figure that comes with it, and then you can also pair up other decks and you can interchange different figures. So depending upon which pack of the wild cards you get, you could get The Mandalorian, you could get Ahsoka, you could get Sabine, which I think is really a lot of fun. So I'm really excited to pull this one out and play it. Have you ever played this game, or have you ever heard of it before?
Now this is new to me, so I'm looking forward to hearing your report on it.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like a little pocket game, I guess you could say. It's very small, but it sort of reminds me of maybe, Uno and Go Fish at the same time, but with figures. So that's kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to it. So I will definitely report back. And then the last thing that I got, which is actually a Funko Pop as well, when I was at GalaxyCon Columbus recently, a friend of mine who we had on the show, Rebecca Reuter of Passion Fruit Denim Company, she was the one that made my hair jacket that was hand painted, the custom one. Well, she and her husband and her young boy were at GalaxyCon, and I had helped them out with a couple things last year with some fundraising and doing a couple of events and doing some promotions and things for them. And so they surprised me with this R2D2 Christmas Funko Pop, and it's the one with R2. And I think we actually talked about this last time on World Between Worlds, where he's got the two reindeer antlers with
Hmm.
the Christmas bulbs and lights and, whatnot all over. But the really awesome thing about this one is that it was autographed by Christine Gailey, who performed as the first woman to puppet inside R2D2 in both the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, and has also portrayed other characters in The Mandalorian, such as a Jawa and an astronaut and even R5D4.
Oh,
So I was blown away because at first when I saw the autograph on here, I couldn't really, sometimes autographs are a little hard to read. So what I did was I took a picture of it and then I did the old Google lens because I felt kind of bad because I was like, I'm not really sure who this is that signed this, but I'm really grateful that they gave this to me. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is Christine Gailey, and I didn't realize that that's who that was. So thank you, Rebecca and family, for that because it was a very, very amazing surprise.
Yeah,
So
it's a
did
very
you know
thoughtful
who
gift.
Christine was?
No, I was not aware of that. I was trying to think of who the other actor that was playing R2 after Kenny Baker passed away, but his name's not coming to me at the moment. But
Hmm.
yeah, I wasn't aware that she had done that.
Yeah, yeah. So that was really cool. So again, Rebecca, if you're listening, thank you. And then, last but not least, speaking of GalaxyCon, I was actually gifted an 8x10 of myself as Ahsoka from last year, from a photographer that goes by Causal Jeffrey, and he's at Causal Jeffrey 1 on Instagram. And that was just really special because he had put this 8x10 in a really nice protective frame and specifically sought me out to give this to me. And I was just blown away at the thoughtfulness of that. So Jeffrey, if you're listening, thank you. And so my Snow Soka coat that I wear, and I'm going to be getting some more proofs of some pictures here very, very soon, is from, here's a little trivia. It only appeared one time in all of canon, and it was in the Clone Wars season 4, episode 14, A Friend in Need. And it's the one where Ahsoka goes to the frozen planet, and Lux Bonteri goes, and Bo-Katan is there, and Lux actually kisses Ahsoka. Mistletoe missing in this regard, but it's just kind of funny that that particular coat has garnered so much affection from the fans. And every time I wear it, I get so much reaction from people, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're wearing the coat." So, so I got a whole photo shoot with Nick Porterfield, who goes by Docker Cap Photography on Instagram. And I also collaborated with him on an advertising promotion for photo shoots at GalaxyCon. So that was kind of fun. And then, of course, last but not least, as far as GalaxyCon goes, I got to meet Hayden again. Ah, so wonderful.
You got a
So it
great
was,
shot of that too. That was a fantastic photo that you two got.
thank you. So yeah, when I went in, I, in my best Ahsoka voice, I said, "Hello, master." And he kind of like got this little grin on his face and he goes, "Hey, Snips." And okay, right there, you talk about iconic. So when I went over to him, and he's so nice. I mean, he's absolutely so nice. So he gave me a hug, and then I handed him one of my sabers and I said, "Let's do crossies." He says, "Okay." So then I leaned into him, and then right before the picture was taken, I leaned in even more. So you can tell from the picture, it was like I'm just like in seventh heaven. But he was super nice, and he thanked me for coming, and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, I have to say, that man had so many photo ops that day. He was there from 10 o'clock in the morning when we opened up, and the first shoots started at like 10:45 in the morning until 6 o'clock that night.
Wow.
And every single one of those photos that I saw looked like he was just all in. And there were so many great different poses that he did with people. And I was just so happy for everybody that got an opportunity to get their picture taken with him and got to meet him, because it's pretty fantastic. So I'm glad I took the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, like I said, if people haven't seen it, I think you put it up on your Instagram page, right?
I
Because
did.
yeah,
Oh
that's where I saw it
yeah.
the first time. I was trying to remember where I saw it, and that was it. Yeah, and I saw that, I was like, "Oh, Jay's happy."
Oh yeah.
That was a great shot. So
Well, thank you.
it turned out really, really well.
Yeah, you were one of the first people I texted the picture to too, after I
Yeah,
got it done. So I was like, "Ah!" But yes, so thank you for reveling in my fandom there as well. So back to shopping. So I was at Kohl's recently as well, and I will say I highly recommend Kohl's for a lot of stocking stuffers, and they actually do have a lot of really great Star Wars stuff, both in store and online. So they have some new kitchen towels and pot holders and oven mitts this year that are different from the ones that they had last year. I actually almost bought this for my son, but I decided not to because we got him some other things. But there's a dishwasher, light side, dark side, so if it's dirty or clean, but it's a double-sided magnet, which I thought was really cool. So it's not one that you just flip upside down and back and forth. You can actually flip it so it's double-sided. So you only see Luke or you only see Vader. And so you can use that on your dishwasher. They have the Mandalorian, the child trivia game, which I almost bought for myself. I'm not going to lie, because you know me and trivia, I stink at it, but I still like to play. There was a really fun throw pillow that is kind of a lighter, almost sage green, and it has some fun cartoon elements of embroidery with Chewbacca and Yoda and R2D2 looking very festive. So Chewbacca has some earmuffs on, and then Yoda has a fun little stocking cap, and R2D2 has a scarf. So if you're looking for a fun pillow, you can get that at Kohl's. And then they had knee socks and ankle socks. There was a fun silk touch throw blanket. They also have Hallmark ornaments, but the only thing is you can't get the Hallmark rewards points if you get them at Kohl's. But they had this, what I really loved, I found this one online as I was looking for pictures to put into our notes. There's a Mythosaur skull glass gift set. And this one you can't pick it up in store, but you can get it online. And this is absolutely beautiful. So it comes with this gorgeous wooden box, and it's made from acacia wood, and it has a dovetail joinery and this sliding removable panel door to it. And it has a form-fitting interior that showcases and secures all the accessories. And it has these fluted glasses with the Mythosaur skull engraving. So you get a gift case, two 12-ounce glasses, and two 3.5-inch cork coasters, and a stainless steel bottle opener with it as well. Absolutely beautiful. It's on sale right now for $144.79, down from $180.99. But of course, if you have Kohl's Cash, or if you have any, I don't know if the kind of percents off sort of coupons would work on this, but it also has on the outside of the acacia, it has the Mythosaur skull engraved, and then it has "This is the way" in Mandoa on the outside engraved as well. Gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a beautiful set. That's really quite fantastic.
It really is. It really is. So, anyone listening out there, want to throw something Jay's way, that's definitely on top of my radar right now. And then the other thing that I thought was kind of fun was that there's a Grogu and Tree battery operated musical tabletop decoration. So kind of think square snow globe is the best way that I can put that one. But what's fun about this one is it's not, again, we've talked about how some things aren't really in your face Star Wars. This one reminds me of the old style. I hate to say like coochie decorations, but it is kind of coochie. Let's just put it that way. But Grogu is so small in front of the tree, you can barely see him. So if you want to be like, yeah, I have Star Wars decorations, but I don't want anybody to know I have Star Wars decorations. But it does play Jingle Bells, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Silent Night, Deck the Halls, Joy to the World, The First Noel, and Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and Oh Christmas Tree. So it's very musical, and it has white LED bulbs that are included to light it up. And it's about 4.5 inches tall. So it's not huge, but it's just kind of a fun little, tabletop sort of an ornament. So if you're looking for something different for decor, definitely can put that one on your list. So yeah, Kohl's, I was really surprised at how much stuff they actually had.
Yeah, that's a good tip because, we're coming right up on Christmas in a week after this comes
Yeah.
live. So if a lot of these things that we're going to talk about may not be, available for people to order and get in time for Christmas, but you can always run to Kohl's between now and then, see what they got.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and unfortunately, some of this other stuff, like as I'm going to talk about here in just a second with Her Universe, sometimes the shipping on that does take a little while. But then again, a lot of people do their Christmases not on Christmas, or they do different holiday celebrations. And so, if you have a little extra time, sometimes if people are, with lots of different family situations. You may not do your Christmas until closer to New Year's. So, game on for some of this stuff for sure. So, as I was saying with Her Universe, definitely a staple on World Between Worlds here. But there is 144 pages of nothing but Star Wars items.
Of course there
I
is.
Yeah, because that's what it started with Ashley Eckstein, and that was her cornerstone. But there's just so many things that have evolved in the products that she carries, or that I should say her universe carries now. So of course there's the usual suspects such as apparel and scarves, hats and gloves, jewelry, backpacks, purses, accessories, even small appliances like hand blenders for smoothies, and even mini Keurig type coffee makers that make little single serve coffee, waffle bakers, lightsaber salt and pepper shakers, and grinder sets. There's calendars, and some of these things are also kind of subcontracted, if you will. So the candles are from a different company, but they run through her universe. For example, character socks and sneakers, water bottles, and much, much, much more. But there is a whole section of specific Star Wars holiday items that includes lots of t-shirts and sweatshirts for, of course, celebrating the holidays. And some of these are more dressy types of dresses that ladies might like to wear to some holiday parties. Then there's some fun little sweaters. One of the ones that really caught my eye real quick is the Star Wars R2D2 and C3PO Intarsia sweater is what they call it. So it kind of goes from an ombre of the blue that you expect from R2D2 down into the gold or yellow of C3PO. And so it's
Oh
it's
yeah.
on the front, and it's a very different kind of a sweater, and it's a really good looking sweater. And it's on sale for $47.92 right now. And they show this with a male model wearing this, which I think it's just a super, super sharp um, sweater. And so the front has R2D2 and the back has C3PO.
Yeah, no,
I just think it's really sharp.
that's actually that's pretty clever. It looks good. I haven't seen anything quite like that.
It's so different, and that's why I really, really like it. And then there's a bunch of other things on here as well. I mean, they've got more of almost like I like to call them bowling shirt kind of button ups, and again in sort of an ombre. So there's an Anakin and Obi-Wan dual woven button up that's kind of that ombre sort of thing. And just so many new things that are over on the Her Universe site that we literally don't have time for all of it, but I highly recommend checking it out. And then there's just tons and tons of t-shirts that are specific to Christmas and the holidays. So if you're looking for something kind of in the ugly sweater aesthetic, to kind of brighten up your parties and whatnot, Her Universe might be the place to go. So moving on, we've got Heroes and Villains, which is another staple here on World Between Worlds. And they have tons and tons of items as well. But some of the things that they have right now that are new, they have a Star Wars comfort collection that includes robes, slippers, pajama sets, and even these fuzzy sleep gift sets that they're currently offering. And unfortunately, when I was looking and putting the notes together, it says that these are on sale for pre-order, but they're not shipping until the 20th. So that's cutting it pretty close to Christmas, but they're super cute. So you get this whole thing that includes a set of an eye mask, a scrunchie, a headband, and a toiletry bag. And they're very fuzzy. So they have a jacquard fleece, which is 100% polyester and embroidered art. And these are officially licensed Star Wars merchandise. So they have a dark side and a light side as well. And these are on sale for $32. So there's an Imperial black fuzzy sleep gift set, and then there's the light side version of that as well, which I love me a good sleep mask. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you?
Just
Okay, I've
I
never used
do.
one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I actually have a few. I have a Kanan one that I got from Fangirling Over Jesus, which is kind of fun. And then I also have one that has Chewbacca eyes on it, and it's fuzzy. And I have to tell the story really, really quickly. So when I was staying at my son's over the summertime, I was sleeping on the couch because one, I like to sleep on the couch because it's really comfortable. So it's not like, oh God, mom had to sleep on the couch. But they have a orange tabby that they said everyone that sleeps over there, and his name is Marbles, and he bothers everybody. And so I got up the next morning and they're like, "Oh, did Marbles bother you?" And I was like, "No, not at all." And so I'd stay there for a few nights in a row, and I said the only thing I could think of was that it must have been because Marbles probably thought I was up all night staring at him because my eye mask had Chewbacca's eyes on it.
Yeah, that's an
So
idea.
so he was probably like, "What is going on with this woman?" But But at any rate, I digress. So the last thing I wanted to hit on from Heroes and Villains, because we've got so many other things to talk about, is that they actually have these new things called fan bundles. And I first saw this on my Instagram and I thought, okay, this is a really, really smart idea. So if you're not sure what to get somebody and you wanted to say, okay, I just want to go ahead and get one of everything. They have a Bad Batch collector's bundle. There's an Ahsoka collector's bundle, a Bounty Hunters, an Imperials, and an Ewoks. So if you go to the Heroes and Villains site and just click on, or I'm sorry, search bundles, you will find these. And there's actually a really nice variety in each one of these bundles. So, for example, in the Ahsoka collector's bundle, which is on sale for $150, down from $283, by the way. They have a crop tee, a high-waisted wide leg pants, the exclusive Ahsoka and Grogu navy tee that goes along with this, and a few other items as well. So depending upon which one of the bundles you go with, you can check out the individual things that they have to go with them, which is really a lot of fun. I really like the Ewoks one, I'm not gonna lie, because it's from the Ewoks cartoon, and it's just so much fun and so much whimsical. So the little ball cap is orange and it says Ewoks, friends come in all shapes and sizes. And then it's got a fun, little bag to go with it. And it's just and the colors are just my favorite colors too. Of course, orange and blue and aqua and that kind of things. But yeah, so the fan bundles are just a lot of fun. And so yeah, head over to Heroes and Villains. If you can't figure out something else, there you go. Next thing on the list is a company called Darc Sport, and I had never heard of this company before until my son Colby One told me about it. And this is fashion that is designed for things like gym, workout, fitness, bodybuilding, weightlifting, and such. And so I did a little research on the company itself, and they were founded in 2015 in California by two guys that actually went to high school together. And their mission is to inspire people to train their mind and body and then conquer the impossible. So, Darc Sport has tons of different products from hoodies to boxers and different types of gym shorts, tons of different types of tees. One thing I do like about the t-shirts themselves is that the artwork on these are just exquisite. Now, the only thing that you're going to find with a lot of these is that they do blend their dark side or dark sport types of icons and things with the Star Wars. So you're going to get a lot of their things like wolves and moths and whatnot, but that's all part of their branding. But other than that, I mean, some of the artwork is just really cool. So you've got tank tops, all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking for some really different types of gym sorts of workout clothes that are also Star Wars and have really cool designs, darksport.com might be the place to go, especially for the person in your life that likes to do a lot of, Gymshark kinds of things. So did you get a chance to look at any of those?
Yeah, I'm glancing through them. I mean, it's a very large the model they've got wearing all this stuff it's very large on him, which
Mhm.
is not going to work for me. But the I mean, the art is fantastic on the clothes. They really managed to get a good image on those, which can sometimes be hard to do on apparel like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll tell you, I think my favorite ones are there's a Darth Maul and Kylo Ren that are just absolutely exquisite. But I'm with you, as far as like what we do with running and stuff like that, this style isn't really conducive to that type of workout. But for, things like bodybuilding, weightlifting, boxing, there's some cover ups for the ladies, that are oversized tees and that type of thing that
Mhm.
are definitely, of that aesthetic for that particular type of workout. So again, darksport.com. And I was just really impressed with the variety of the different types of things that they offered. So moving on, this is another brand new company that I just recently found, and the company is called Mooncat Nail Polish. So this is a came up as a sponsored ad on my Instagram. So I'm really kind of thankful for these sponsored ads. I'm not gonna lie. And there are nail colors that are coming out. Actually, the day that we're recording, it's coming out the next day. So they dropped on the 13th. And recording this on the 12th. So this is kind of an advanced sort of thing here. So there are 7 nail colors that are coming out that are being inspired by Star Wars. And this is an official collaboration. And they all have Darth Vader's head on the bottle, which is kind of cool. And so when I did a little bit of research into the company themselves, they've done a few different collaborations with other things like Powerpuff Girls and some other types of pop culture sorts of things. But they are into all vegan and cruelty-free nail polish, and they are women-owned and operated. And what I love about their about page is it says, nail polish has always been a symbol of rebellion. I was like, okay, I'm on board right now. Because, rebellion, come on, that's like Star Wars right then and there. But it's also fun when you go onto their website. If you just hover your mouse around, you'll get stardust that just flutters all over the place. Or if you're Carrie Fisher, glitter. So gotta love it. But at any rate, I'm excited for this one. And if it's anything like some of the other drops that they've had, the kits look really fantastic. So there's things that are being offered that are like nail art and stickers. There's what looks like to me, I was trying to zoom in, it looks like a magnet. And if that's the case, that means that some of the nail polish is going to be magnetic, which creates what's called a tiger eye kind of effect on the nail, and that's one of my favorite effects on nails. So I'm really excited about that, and also a nail file to go with it. So if you have someone in your life that likes to do their nails, I would definitely recommend this. So I'm going to be coming back to this. And what I also think is very cool is that the top of the nail polish looks like a red kyber crystal. So come on, that's cool right there. So again, that's mooncat.com, and all of these links will be in our show notes. So a few other quick hits. One of these one of these websites I had mentioned before is that it's Your Weird Ant Shop on Etsy, which is a lot of fun. And this one is not actually holiday themed, but they do have one of the first Skeleton Crew merch type sites that I've seen. So if you scroll down through the Etsy site, there's a few different things that they have on the website, and there's a beanie that has some embroidery. There's a t-shirt and a couple other things as well. So if you're looking for some Skeleton Crew merch, that might be the way to go. The next one is Enso Rings, and Enso Rings is another one that we've talked about here on World Between Worlds before, and these are the silicone rings that are really super popular right now, and they do have a Star Wars limited edition holiday collection, as well as some other new ring selections and sets. So if you're up for some silicone rings, head to Enso Rings. Scentsy also has a new item to their collection, and I've got a couple of the Scentsy warmers, and their new 2024 Star Wars collection does include the Death Star warmer, and this one is actually on sale right now for $100, and it has the a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away that sort of holocrons out the back of it, which is really, really fun. So if you're into the Scentsy warmers, you can head up Scentsy for that. And then Diff Eyeware is another one that I actually have a pair of Diff sunglasses, or I'm sorry, eyeglasses that are Princess Leia inspired in rose gold. And they have a limited release, the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary sunglass line. So if we're in the very, very end of the 25th anniversary for the Phantom Menace, so if you're wanting to snag some official merch to celebrate that anniversary, this is the time to do it before the year is out. So they are very deeply discounted right now, but also in limited quantities, and they do all come with a Diff exclusive enamel pin. So they have different character pins that you can get with these too. So there's a Darth Maul, an Anakin pod racer, a Queen Amidala, and a Mace Windu. And the Maul and Amidala don't have a prescription available with them, but the Anakin Pod Racer and the Mace Windu both do. So if you get online, you can actually put in your prescription with your eye doctor's your referral, and you can get them made to fit your prescription. And the Pod Racer ones actually flip up, so you can go from the darkened sunglasses to just like a regular lens, which is really kind of cool. So it really makes you feel like Anakin in that way. And then last but not least, a few other ones. A Fan of Shop is one of my favorite online small businesses, and she's got all kinds of fun holiday things. So there's an acrylic ornament, some Loath Cat sticker ornament sheets that look like ugly sweaters. There's a pillowy chop, which is a little literally a pillow that's stuff that's an ornament, some cup koozies that kind of remind you of some of our places like Starbucks and whatnot. And so like a Dunkin' and the venti kind of things that you can put onto your cups. And then Target, all you have to do is just type in stocking stuffers, and there's tons and tons and tons of things on Target. So everything from chip clips and figurines to little mini books and whatnot. And then the very, very last thing, I know we've already passed Life Day, but the Nerfherder Company or Nerfherder Co has a Life Day fragrance. And so this one you probably would not get in time for the holidays because she is kind of busy. I shouldn't say kind of, she's very busy right now. But this one has a bayberry and fir wreath scent with some fir needles, eucalyptus, frosted citrus, bayberry, white rose, musk, among others. And it's just a fun way to keep the Life Day celebration going. So, so many things, not enough time for shopping, but hopefully everybody got some good ideas there. Did you get any good ideas, Dennis?
Yeah, actually, it's a lot to consider here, but
Yeah.
if I need any last second ideas, I know to go back to this list.
There
There's
you
plenty
go.
there. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And always things that I want to end up buying for myself too, but we'll see how that goes. So once again, hopefully everybody found some fun ideas to help them with their holiday gift giving or gift getting if you're getting any of these for yourself. And I just want to thank you all for joining us for episode 822 of Podcast Stardust and this very special holiday episode of World Between Worlds. And if we hope that you have enjoyed this episode, and if so, please make sure to subscribe to Podcast Stardust on your podcatcher of choice. And I'd also like to remind you that you can find all episodes of the show on retrozap.com. And RetroZap is also home to several other great podcasts covering everything from the MCU and DC to Dune and Star Trek and a whole lot more. And as always, we greatly appreciate a 5-star rating and reviews on whatever podcatcher you use, especially if that's Apple Podcasts. But we also love to see you on Spotify, YouTube, and YouTube Music. And so we'd love it if you'd share our show and your favorite episodes, hopefully this one's one of them, on social media as well. And speaking of social media, Dennis, one more time, can you remind everybody what those social media contacts are?
Right. So we are on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust. We can also be found on Pinterest. Jay's got some boards set up for us over there. The show is available on YouTube, both in video. There's no video, but it's available on the video channel and also through their YouTube Music app. If you want to look for apparel, we have t-shirts and some other stuff available on TeePublic. There's a link for that in show notes. We can be reached in real time on Discord, as well as all the other shows that are on the RetroZap Podcast Network. And yeah, Jay, what do you got going on in cosplay?
Well, as I was just mentioning, J.Snip's cosplay, all the fun you can possibly handle. And yes, that picture of Hayden and myself is not going anywhere. So once again, you can find that on J.Snip's cosplay. So coming up on the show on Friday, we have our next rundown and review of Skeleton Crew, the latest episode of that. And then on Monday, we are going to have some fun reviewing and talking about the audio drama Tempest Breaker. So until then, thanks for listening, everyone. Have a wonderful holiday shopping and gift-giving season. And until next time, may the force of Star Wars fashion and lifestyle be with you.